A new round and a brand new season. It is the E4 Championship here this week, and race 1 from Paul Ricard, France this week. And good afternoon and welcome to Paul Ricard. 5.822 metres we are racing around here this weekend. 30 minutes plus 1 lap is the time that we will be racing for. This is round 1 of the E4 Championship this weekend. And very much we are excited here because it is a new championship, a new era of Italian F4. It is now time for the E4 Championship. This is round 1 out of 4 this season. And we head to La Castellette this weekend after last week with the Italian F4 Championship. This weekend it is now the E4 Championship here, which is practically the same thing with Italian F4. But pole position earlier on today went to Kin Nakamura Berta. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
I think it was quite a different track to yesterday. A bit of rain beforehand made it a little bit of an unknown. But yeah, I think we executed a pretty good qualifying overall. Both qualies were really tight. I think the top 3 always split by 1/10. So it was chaos, I think, in Q1. Yeah, it was traffic paradise, but we're still on pole, so we take it and we just move on.
Yeah, it was a very tricky qualifying, to be honest. Quali 1, we go along with no slipstream, so I think P3 was a very good result. And then Quali 2, I think our pace was really, really good every lap. I think it was a little bit difficult with that because I got traffic in 2 laps, and I think for sure if was not traffic on these 2 laps, we could make the pole also in Q2 because the pace was really, really strong. With this, we start pole on race 3, so just need to thank the whole team for their job in the car. It's really go pretty amazing, to be honest, and now we need to focus on the race to do the better as we can.
Few of the drivers there putting their thoughts into this session. But Kin Nakamura will be starting on pole alongside Sebastian Werle and Gabriel Gomez in P3. Alessandro Bondarev in P4. Kabig Anyarag in P5. Enya Frey in P6 in the Genza Motorsport number 20. But a 2:06.128 was the time in qualifying. They're the 3 rows, but the top 2 in the championship is first and second in the grid. Reno Francot, Maximilian Popov, P7, P8, Alex Powell, P9, Andrea Kostic in P10, Bart Harris in P11, Zhenru Qi, the Chinese driver, the Prema Racing driver, in P12. Dante Vici in P13, Emily Cotti in P14, Ari Benzel in P15, Alexander Ruta in P16, Guy Albag in P17, Alexander Savinkov in P18, the RASGP driver sitting down there in P18 on the grid. David Bussa in P19, Taylor Strop in P20, Badu Alsati in P21, Evan Milchini in P22, Luca Visaliano in P23, Peyton Westcott, the American, in P24. Gaspar Bennett in P25, Al-Bulda Kamel, the Saudi Arabian driver, Selim Hanna in P27, Jarina Parisi and Andrea Rodriguez in P29, the Venom Sport Racing driver. This race is going to be quite interesting here for the Italian F4 Championship. A new championship gets underway here today for Italian F4. Let's get the thoughts of the ACI Sport commentators.
Penalty applied, and the American starts out of grid 29. The field make their way up the famous 1.8 kilometre Mulsanne straight here, which, well, maybe this is a biased point of view, unfortunately, has the chicane in use here this weekend. Wouldn't it be great if we went straight for almost, in fact, more than 1 mile? The chicane in play here this weekend, as it is, to be fair, for most of the championships. We have to go back to the Ferrari Challenge Series for the last time from memory that the chicane was not in use in recent times. This weekend, racing with the Formula Regional European Championship. Incidentally, last year it was Akshay Bora who took the title. Well, the US Racing Team fast, Freddie Slater P2 and King Nakamura Berta third in last year's European Series. Freddie Slater taking a dominant victory earlier this morning in the latest round of the Formula Regional European Championships. Fast Freddie for the Prema Racing Team from the Midlands of England. He was last year's Italian F4 champion. He was second in the Euro Series last year and a dominant victory in the Formula Regional European Championship. Cast your minds back, 2019, the first ever Formula Regional European Championship race was held at this very circuit, 2019, when Frederik Vesti took his first victory on his way to becoming the inaugural Formula Regional European Champion. Some, 6-7 years ago now. Frederik Vesti, now Mercedes F1 test driver, also racing at Le Mans for Cadillac. Who knows, we may see him on the grid in the FIA Formula One World Championship in 2026. The field maker.
We are building up to the start here of the Italian F4 race. Bart Harrison on screen at the moment. Has his own livery on the car. Fun fact, each car has the label of E4 Championship on it. You can see the crowd building up to watch the Italian F4 race. It is to be quite a good race, actually. Dante Vinci on screen at the moment in the number 21. There, the 21 Renault Sport Racing driver. But on the front row of the grid, it's King Nakamura Berta on the right-hand side. Well, on his left, but on our right. On the left-hand side, it is Sebastian Weldon. Can he take a win here in the E4 Championship? It's nearly a month until we head back for another E4 Championship round. But of course, this is only race one. There are 3 races here this weekend for the Italian F4 Championship. We have one tomorrow, and then one again tomorrow afternoon. Here we go. The lights are about to come on. We're about to get the Italian F4 Championship race 1, a new round, and a new category, the E4 Championship. The Euro 4 Championship here this weekend. We should get the lights any moment. Here, as it seems as if we aren't getting these lights. And the green flag finally waves. The lights, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go for the Italian F4 Championship. Good start from King Nakamura Berta. It is Sebastian Weldon who slots in. There's a few cars stalled. There's yellow flags waving everywhere on the front straight there. Sebastian Weldon drops back into P3. Good start side by side for the leads. King Nakamura Berta. And just lost the lead is King Nakamura Berta. He drops into second. There's a few cars off the road. There, he fights for the lead. King Nakamura Berta around the outside of, I'm not sure who that really is there, who has just taken second place. That is Gabriel Gomez, who's just taken the lead. So Gabriel Gomez fights into turn 1 and he takes the lead. Weldon into P3. Anurag into P4. The Alpine Academy driver. Doing an amazing job in P4, Bondarov, Frey, Frencott, Alex Powell, and Maximilian Popov, and then Costi in P10. The 2 championship rivals in the F4 Championship are fighting for second and third. So far, so good. Gabriel Gomez leading this race. There's nearly 30 cars in this field. And we heard there from King Nakamura Berta a few moments ago that traffic was a big play. And so it should have been. There are 2 groups. Group 1, of course, is for race 1. Race 2 is for... Group 2 is for race 3, and it's progressive grid for race 2 off race 1. So race 1, progressive grid. So wherever you finish in race 1 is where you start for race 2. Race 3 is decided off qualifying as well. There's a few side-by-side actions there going on from some of the Renault Sport Racing drivers there. We'll see who leads the E4 Championship at the end of this race, but there's still 27 whole minutes to go. We saw earlier on today, Frecker did not have a single safety car. Can we see that happen here in the Italian F4 Championship? A few Prema cars off the road, and that was also along with another Veneva Sport Racing driver. The whole field separated by less than a couple of seconds. Around about 2.5 seconds. Gomez leads by 0.3 of a second over King Nakamura Berta, Sebastian Weldon, Anurag, Bondarev, Frencott, and Enya Frey. There's Alex Powell covers off the back of Maximilian Popov. The American sensation really covering to try and hold on to that position. There, Alex Powell was up one spot. Gabriel Gomez, what a start. He leads this race. He's in first. Can he hold on to that? Number 78 and the number 51 of King Nakamura Berta is in second. Weldon using that slipstream to his advantage, sticking in behind, trying to get as close as possible. There, Gabriel Gomez, King Nakamura Berta, Sebastian Weldon, Anurag and Bondarev in P5. But it has been a pretty good start here from everybody. No safety cars so far, so good, which is what we like to see. Bit of side-by-side action going on there. Further down the field, that is with Alex Powell and Maximilian Popov as they battle for position. That is for P9 and P10, so that's for an extra point here. But points are so critical early on in this championship. Really critical indeed. Any points you can get are really critical. Half a second separating Gabriel Gomez and King Nakamura Berta. There, half a second between those two there. As we head on to lap 2 of this race, a car off the road. And being able to regain that down there at turn 2. Battle for 7th and 8th. Moment. This is Alex Powell and Enya Frey. Oh, contact! And they've both made contact, and there's a big accident heading in to turn 2. Big accident. And they've made contact. And that's Alex Powell, the American sensation, who makes contact with Enya Frey. Big contact there. 25 minutes to go. There might be a safety car in this one. They're making contact, and that will most likely be a safety car with the way that those two cars are parked. Take a look at this on the replay. To the inside there is Alex Powell, and then he's just been chipped across by Enya Frey. I think that's Enya Frey spinning and off. Oh, how was that there from the Veneva Sport Racing driver? Getting really close to actually making contact. And, oh god, that is a big hit. That car was actually lucky not to get up on two wheels and spin, or even flip. That is really close. That could have been a big accident. There's that Veneva Sport driver. Unknown to who that is there. Will there be a safety car? You'd think there would be. 23 minutes to go, but I think we're still green flag for the moment. I think the marshals were just able to push I think that was the Alex Powell car just into the barrier down there, and Enya Frey, I'm not sure where he's actually parked up. Has he been able to get that car moving is the big question. This is Bondarev. We're looking on board here with the number 27 Prema Racing driver, hunting down Anurag, the Alpine Academy driver. And then Reno Frencott in behind that. So this is where the accident was, down here at turn 1. Just clipping the inside tyre, and that is where the Enya Frey car is, off in the background. And then Alex Powell is also the one that was nearly made big contact with a Veneris Ford driver. And that would have surely been a safety car, but I think that was Vicigliano, who's down now in P27. Or, I'm not actually sure who that was there, but this is the replay of, oh, that's a car spinning. And that's what caused it. So there you go. So that's what caused it. It was a car spinning in the first place to cause that accident. It was a matter of just trying to avoid a spinning car. Gabriel Gomez still leads this race though by 0.7 of a second. He still has that lead. King Nakamura Bertha and Sebastian Weldon. They're close up behind each other. And then you've got Anurag Bondarev and Reno Frankot in P4, 5 and 6. .6 of a second now between Gomez and King Nakamura Bertha. Earlier today we saw Freddie Slater run away with the Formula Regional European Championship Race 1. We saw Freddie Slater run away with that one. Nearly had that win by 5 seconds. Well, actually, it was close to 9 seconds even. Very consistent lap times we saw there from the American driver. 21 minutes to go in this one. Gomez leads this race still by 0.6 of a second. 0.6 Gomez to Nakamura Bertha.
On the first race of the Italian Series at Misano earlier this year, his countrymen taking victory in the first 2 editions of the E4 Series. McLaren's Ugo Ugachuku in 2023, as you get a fabulous look at the 98 Gainbridge machine coming out of Hotel Virage and Lac Virage going on to the Mulsanne Straight. Ugo in 2023 and Akshay Bora, both drivers from New York in the United States of America, the inaugural champions of the European Series. And Sebastian looking to raise the Stars and Stripes for the 3rd year in a row. He's in P3. Under that, here's Bondarev for Williams Jr., the top rookie. And Reno Frankot, the sole PHM car, in 69 P6. Gomez in P1. Outstanding start for Gomez. There is Anurag Bondarev, the Williams Jr., the former WSK Supermaster Series and Champions Cup International Kart Racing Champion, former European Champion. He is the top rookie. The second rookie is Newman Chi, Alexander Ruta. The pole for Van Amersfoort Racing. 9th outright and 3rd on the rookie podium as we pass 1/3 race distance. Sebastian Weldon slides sideways on the rubber. A warm day here this afternoon. Slight rain shower this morning. Very slight. It lasted no more than about 90 seconds. And the track rubbering in. Particularly with the GT Open cars, the Formula Regional European Championship Racing. Putting down layer and layer after rubber here in the southern French sunshine as now Weldon on the back of Nakamura Bertha. Frankot on the outside of Bondarev, tries the outside. Bondarev slight block up to the front left. The Dutchman on the back of the Ukrainian, the fight for P5. PHM versus the Brembo Racing Team down to the bottom part of this famous circuit. Frankot darts to the inside. Bondarev covers him off, rides the ripple strip. Down through the chicane to the bottom part of the circuit. That's a passing opportunity. But he was too far back and would have been vulnerable. Going up the 1.8 kilometre Mulsanne Straight here at Paul Ricard. Gomez, Nakamura Bertha, Weldon, 1, 2, 3, back to Anurag, who's pulled away from the top rookie on your screen, the Williams Jr. Bondarev from Reno Frankot. There's Kostic in the background from Newman Chi, Ruta and Dante Vinci. Frankot, will he dive down the inside? Fades to the inside.
This battle still rages here between Bondarev and Reno Frankot. It's less than 0.2. Bondarev moves to the left-hand side, where the dirty side of the road is. They use the blue ripple strip on the outside. There's less grip on that than what there would be on the tarmac. They run side by side. The Prema driver there of Alexander Bondarev covering Reno Francot. Francot around the outsides. Tried to do it, didn't happen. And it's still Bondarev who keeps this position. This is B5 and P6. Gabriel Gomez, 2:07.3, the fastest lap of the race. The US racing driver. Amazing job to keep a hold of this position. Less than a second. Gomez leading less than a second to King Nakamura Bertha. Weldon has just dropped off the back of King Nakamura Bertha. P3. Anurag and Alexander Bondarev. Reno Francot, Kostic, Newman Chi, Ruta, and Dante Vinci in P10. Once again, that battle continues. It's less than 0.2 of a second. Keeping a keen eye on this. And the top three spread out by less than 2 seconds. Here, but this is the battle we're looking on. P5 and P6, this battle. 16.5 minutes to go. If Francot can set him up through this section of road, that's probably the best passing opportunity. You see the car really bottom out through that bump in the road down there at turn 7. Turn 8 and turn 9 this is. Before you're heading onto the Mulsanne Straight. Longer straight we have on the calendar. One of the longer straights we have on the calendar. For the Italian F4 Championship, of course, we head to the Hockenheimring, I think. No, I don't think they head to the Hockenheimring. That's in Germany. No, they don't. So, Gomez, though, leads this race as we're seeing a bit of strategy play out here further back down the grid with a bit of battling going on here. This is Maximilian Popov, Bennett, Kamal, Savinkov, and Mulcini in P22, so these are for no points, but trying to make their way up the grid. That's Kamal on the back of Bennett, the US racing driver, getting right over to the left-hand side as he tries to cover. Meanwhile, Popov just running away. Ooh, nearly made contact again. That would have been a big incident if they kept in with that. Up inside is Savinkov on Kamal. And that's a bit done. Kamal has just been pushed wide. There's no grip on that blue tarmac down there. Won't be finding much of it, but there might be a bit of an incident noted there between that.
Sideways was Savinkov, who loses a good 100 metres plus the position there. Alexander Savinkov, the second Ukrainian. As you look at Kostic in P7, there's Newman Chi, the second rookie, Ruta. Alex from Poland, currently third on the rookie podium. There's Dante Vinci, the Australian in 66. From Emily Cotti, she's in 42. Dante Vinci just throws it down through the chicane. His Fun Sport Racing teammate on your screen just ahead. Really come to form in the last couple of rounds of the Italian series. Now on the rookie podium and P9 outright. Here's Alexander Vinci in the background. Cotti and Salim Hanna, who has come storming through from grid 27 to be in 12th place. Bart Harrison next. Francot, as you see, has finally gone through on Bondarev. The Dutchman in P5. This is the Ukrainian, still the top rookie. P6 and has already lost time in just that lap. The gap out to almost 1 second. It's come down though from the leaders as you look at Sebastian go through on the back of Keen. Gomez, 0.7 of a second. Back to the Japanese Paul Sitter. This is Sebastian, third place. Slightly tighter turn in that time. Track temperature approaching 50 degrees Celsius. It is a warm day here. Of course, it is summertime. It is the south of France. Approximately halfway between the port city of Marseille and the city of Nice. not too far from Monaco also, and most of these drivers are aiming to race in the years to come. Gomez included. We'll check the gap. It was 0.702 last time. Back to Nakamura Berta. As we start lap 8, stays virtually the same, 0.704. Similar back to Sebastian Weldon. There is Tapia from Sentosa in the south of Singapore, the Alpine F1 Junior. Second year racing Formula 4. This is Kostic. Also second year for the Serbian. Here's P7. She goes through. This is Ruta. Alexander in 38. Rides the ripple strips. Does Bonded at P6 outright. And first rookie to Williams Jr. Sebastian trying to take second place to King Nakamura Berta. Gabriel Gomez untouched since the outset, since he raced by to take the lead. The gap officially 0.727. Up into the chicane, down through the gearbox. In the fastest part of the circuit, despite the inclination. Uphill this circuit, not too far from the magnificent Côte d'Azur, the French Riviera, but the track is some 400 metres above sea level. The sun shining here on a sunny Saturday in the south of France as the driver from Florida in position 3, Sebastian Weldon, loses another couple of tenths of a second, and we approach the final third of the first race of the weekend. 3 rounds, 9 races, the 2025 E4 Championship presented by WSK Promotion, their 20th anniversary season of World Motorsport.
Yes, indeed. Round 1 of the E4 Championship. And then, of course, next time out when we head to Imola, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, the home of the Formula 1 Grand Prix. Only a couple of weeks until we head there. Only about 2 weeks till we head to, and even 3 weeks until we head to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, the home of the Formula 1 Grand Prix. So only a couple of weeks, but still plenty of time to regroup and rethink to any of the damaged cars, which of course we've had Enya Frey and Alex Powell out. Svinkov, Fasinu and Bansal, P25, P26, P27, P28 and P29. P25 to P27 are lapped, and those are the cars that are still in this race, but Enya Frey and Alex Powell are sadly not in this race. Not to this point at least. We still have 30 minutes to go. Well, it's not 30 minutes, 9 minutes to go in this race. Here, so we've passed 6 minutes past halfway. It's around about 4:45 over there in France at the moment. Actually, it's quite late in France. It's nearly, what? It's nearly 4 a.m. in France at the moment. It's about 11:30 at the time of me recording this, 11:30 in the morning. So, still got half my day left to go here on this Sunday morning. We have 9 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Less than a second to Gabriel Gomez and King Nakamura Berta. I'm recording all the Italian F4 races. I'm recording all the Freca races. And got to try and upload them. So, yeah, there's now a little bit of a delay to some of the videos that I do have recorded. I mean, bigger the delay, the better, because then I have more content to upload for you guys. But, yeah, I do have 2 videos for you guys that aren't hour-long videos. But, yeah. Gabriel Gomez, though, less than a second, and it hasn't really increased past a second in this race. It's mainly just been stabilised up to this point. That margin stayed really stabilised, actually. These drivers doing an amazing job. We haven't seen a safety car in either the Freca, the International GT, or the Euro Formula. So, good job that this circuit is quite long in width. In terms of the runoff area, you have plenty of on our fairway to go by. And that's where we see Alex Powell parked. So it's where we see that's where we see Alex Powell parked at the moment. Just off to the left-hand side. He's parked and will no longer be taking part in this race, but he will probably be taking part in race 2 later today from 8 p.m, from 8:30, from actually 8:50 tonight, when he'll be taking part there. I'm hoping I can try and stream one of these races. I was able to stream the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine qualifying, but I'm not able to stream the races, which is quite annoying because I don't know why, the audio is just not working. So, apologies to all the people that expect me to stream, but I'm not able to. Hopefully I get unbanned on YouTube on Friday because this is really painful. This is extremely painful. Extremely painful indeed. 6.5 minutes to go in this one. Gomez over Kin Nakamura Berta here, and then Sebastian Weldon, Kai Anurag, the Alpine Academy star in this race. Rino Franco, Bondarev, Kostic, Newman Chi, the Chinese driver in P8, Ruta, and then Dante Vinci in P10. So Dante Vinci will be scoring himself 1 point, and Gabriel Gomez will lead the championship at this rate, heading into race 2. Here, so heading into race 2, he will lead the championship here. Gomez, less than a second to Nakamura Berta, still unable to close that gap. Is Kin Nakamura Berta pushing? Or is Kin Nakamura Berta pushing? And this is the pace that he has. But I think Gomez is just cruising in cruise control mode, trying to maintain a margin that he has. Here, of course, we've had plenty of winners in the recent past. Plenty of championship winners in the recent past. Andrea and Kimi Antonelli. We've had Freddie Slater with an absolute dominant win earlier today in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Quite a dominant win that one was. Less than a second to Gomez and Nakamura Berta. Freddie Slater won that race, by the way, in Freca by more than 8 seconds. It was pure domination, that one. Pure domination. 4.5 minutes to go in this one. In the first round of the E4 Championship. Here, I'm going to quickly check the... check what the second round is of the E4 Championship.
Close to a full Grand Prix distance. We're just passing the 70-kilometre mark, so we'll get close to a good 96 kilometres here if we stay green for the final stages. If you're just joining us, Eddie Frey and Alex Powell out in the opening stages, down into turn 1. The Swiss and Jamaican drivers coming together. That is Frey's car you may have just got a glimpse of in the background. Enya Frey's out, as is Alex Powell. Gabriel Gomez is pulling away. He started at grid 3. He raced by the Premier duo who locked out the front row of the grid, including Sebastian in grid 2, Keen in P1. Gomez from grid 3, the AS Racing team, Gerhard Unger, Ralf Schumacher, who took the Italian series with Kasper Stuka in 2023. Gomez taking victory in the Italian series at Vallelunga. He's running second in the Italian Championship, tied on points with Sebastian Weldon. Kin Nakamura Berta is leading the Italian domestic series. This is the first of 3 rounds, the E4 Championship for 2025. The South American From the Japanese and American drivers, North American, that's Sebastian. From the United States of America, Javier Arnoldak from Singapore in P4. The first European driver is the Dutchman, Reno Frankot, in P5. He controls the pace as Sebastian closes in on the back of King Nakamura now. They are teammates, but they are fighting for their own individual careers. Sebastian rides the ripple strip down through the final few corners as Gomez pulls away.
So the next round for the Italian F4 champion, for the E4 championship, is Mugello, which is the 14th of September. So that's a couple months away here, but of course we're to the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix next for the Italian F4 championship, in that championship there. But it is 1-2 at the moment for in that championship for King Nakamura Libertà and Sebastian Weldon. But they're P2 and P3 at the very moment in time. Quite a tight qualifying session. We heard from Gomez as well in the interviews at the start of the race, the start of the program, the start of the video. We heard the interviews there from King Nakamura and Sebastian from Gomez. Gomez was quite surprised with the amount of traffic. Of course, there's nearly 30 cars. There's 31 cars in this field. So it is to be expected that there's going to be a lot of traffic. Here we've gone nearly 100 kilometres of this circuit, 13 laps, 30 minutes. Here we've gone without a safety car. Board here with number 98 of Alexander Bondarev. So this is not Alexander Bondarev. This is, actually I'm not really sure who this is. I think this is Reno Frankot, Bondarev and Kostic. Here, all this might be Teo Schropp down in P15 and Guy Albag in P14. This is one of the battles going on in the fields at the moment, as it is up, looks up the inside there from Teo Schropp. It's what looked to be. Or it might be Harrison and Cotty, P12 and P13. There's so many things it could be. Oh, so many things. But the field is quietly congested up to this point. Now this is Sebastian Weldon. I'm silly. So yeah, we just cut off and we went back to Sebastian Weldon in this one. But we've got 2 more laps to go here. Next time around it will be the final lap for Gabriel Gomez. 0.6 separating King Nakamura and Sebastian Weldon. So this margin now closing in just a little bit. Can Gomez run away while these two are battling? Here with less than 2 laps to go. We are not going to get a safety car in this one. It doesn't seem as if we will. We certainly won't. It's probably too late for a safety car at this point. And for Gomez, he'll be hoping we don't get a safety car here. So late on in this race. 1.5 seconds the margin. Gomez has really just run away with this. He's just controlled this top 3. It's 4.6 back to Kai Anurag. And then Reno Frankot in P5. 1.8 back. And then 2.7 back is Bondarev. Kostic in P7. Newman Shi 2 seconds back. Ruta 0.6 back. And Hannah 2.2 seconds back. So the field's top 10 separated by about 15 seconds. If that. Maybe 16. So the top 10 separated by 16 seconds here. But this time around it'll be the final lap of the race for Gabriel Gomez. 1.3 seconds of that margin. It's actually just increasing here as Sebastian Weldon starting to put just a little bit more pressure on King Nakamura, which is exactly what we want. We want the pressure on here, on the final lap of the race. Can we see possibly a close in here from Gomez? Bondarev will win the rookie race at this point. And that's why we saw that battle was so important for P6 and P7 for Bondarev and Kostic. Because, of course, that was the rookie win that we were going to see. Gomez, 1.2 seconds. It's the biggest margin we've seen all race between those two. Unlike what we saw in the Frecker race when it was nearly 9 seconds from Freddie Slater. Gomez, domination in this one. Really. You can either call it domination or you can just call it a smooth sailing ride. The moment he got off the line. He took P1 off King Nakamura Bertha and just started running away. 1.2 seconds, the margin. Final lap of the race, though, for Gomez. 1.2 seconds back. 0.6 back is Sebastian Weldon. Kai Anurag, Reno Frenkop, Bondarev, Kostic, Newman Chi, Ruta, Hanna, Vinci, Harrison, Cotti, Schropp, Guy Albag, Busso, Camel, Bennett, Muccini in P19, Andrea, Peyton Westcott. Your top 20 cars. .1 seconds, the margin between the top two cars of Gomez and Kin Nakamura Bertha. It's 40. We've gone 30 minutes into this race without a safety car, just like it was in Freca. So it's been a really successful weekend so far for race 1 for both Freca and Italian F4. This race was going to be one to watch, especially being it's the